Shout out to the Ville, man. Again, shout out to the Ville. Shout out to the Ville for that. Where we at? NDAs expire. There you go. Hey, Gen X. NDAs expire, and once they do, I say what I gotta say. OVO leakier than a sinking ship. That's facts. Hit that like button for me, gang. We got one more video for y'all, man. So if you guys are at work, it's 2 o'clock. You guys are at work? I love y'all so much. We got another video from Jeremy Heck, man. I think that this series is gonna be dope. I'm excited to get into this. Again, I will chop these all up so y'all don't have to watch an hour-long video. Y'all can just get straight to what y'all want to see. But I definitely wanted to cover which it's been so long since I've streamed that I definitely wanted to get in here and stream. I'm super excited to be back. Again, here's the other thing. If you guys want to send me topics, don't forget to hit my Instagram. You guys can always send me messages to Instagram if I see them. A lot of times, I noticed that a lot of y'all's messages go to like this folder that I've never seen before. So I was like, damn, people been sending me messages and I've never seen them. Tag me on Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Anything y'all want me to react to. This is our channel. It's not just mine, right? So I want to, react to what y'all want to see versus what I want y'all to see, right? So let's go ahead and get into this video, man. Hit that like button. Like I said, if you guys haven't done it, we're on the way to 50K. We're on the way to 50K. We're almost there. The real story of Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole passing the crown. I feel like I kind of know the story, but the way this could be telling stories, or the way he be telling stories, I'm kind of interested to see what I missed. So let's go ahead and get into this video from Jeremy Heck. Hit that like button. I appreciate you.
Again, by the amount of people that listen to it, because I used to be so self-conscious about the strikes against me, like, coming from Canada and being on a TV show and being like, super light-skinned, this is some mad, like, this is things you just be like, oh, is this gonna work? But now it gives me a chance to really accept that I am something different. I am something new. Maybe I don't have to be the next Ye, or I don't have to be the next Wayne. I could just be the first Drake.
What up, y'all? It's J. Cole. You don't know me now, but that stamp is gonna mean something in a minute.
Nobody will ever be able to pull up dirt about me because my music is so open and honest and there's no fronting involved. So that's my story. I'm just a regular guy who can actually rap really good.
I asked for this, headed for fame, but in my brain, hey, can I last in this? Yeah, 5 years, I'll probably laugh at this.
The half of the story of kids in Compton is just basically good kids in a mad city. Everybody get put to the test, and you just got to make the right decision to see what path you're going on.
It's 2009. Kendrick Lamar is still rapping under the moniker K-Dot and working hard on his sound alongside the TDE team. At this point, he has the ambition and the skill, but he's spending hours in the studio perfecting his artistry and his sound.
I'm in the studio, all day, all night, cooking up the flow, getting my career right.
On January 30th, he releases his mixtape called C4. The tape is an homage to one of his favorite rappers, Lil Wayne, and his Carter series. Kendrick raps over Wayne beats, and in the same way Wayne claimed Best Rapper Alive on C3, on the opening track, Kendrick claims he's the best rapper under 25. Now keep in mind, Drake is 22 and J. Cole just turned 24 years old. And at this point, neither of them likely knows who Kendrick Lamar is. That tape also includes what Kendrick calls his worst song ever.
What's your wackest song?
My wackest song, it's called Bitch, I'm in the Club.
Bitch, I'm in the club.
Of course, this
I like the honesty though. But then, you know what I'm saying? Then Cole goes on to say, man, I told Dre about this kid that's going crazy out here.
Tape would have a completely different sentiment if you listen to GNX in 2025, but we're still in 2009. Let's shift from Compton to Toronto. Drake's song Replacement Girl gained him his initial buzz in the US after he got Trey Songz on a feature, and the video made its way onto BET. The song, among others, even reached Lil Wayne's ears with the help of Jay Prince's son, Jazz.
I met Jazz Prince on MySpace, actually. He was letting me know that he was around Wayne a lot. So, I would sometimes be like, yo, Wayne's got to hear my stuff. And months went by, I got a call from his number. So, yeah, what's up? This Wayne. I was like, who? He's like, yo, what's up? Where is it? Got to get down here to Houston. I gotta talk to you.
And by the start of 2009, the Drake hype was real. Even J. Cole was impressed.
I feel like, 2009, bro, that's about the time. Was it So Far Gone? Had that already dropped? That was peak nighttime riding at home and just Drake music. I remember that.
Talk to you.
And by the start of 2009, the Drake hype was real. Even J. Cole was impressed the first time he heard Drake. It was one dude in particular that I remember seeing on MySpace, and he was this light-skinned R&B looking dude, but he had raps. It was kind of like neo-soul type raps, but he was talking about women or something. His whole demeanor was hella smooth. Speaking of, J. Cole just graduated from St. John's University and is working minimum wage jobs while still trying to pursue his rap dream with his Dreamville crew. His mixtape The Come Up gained him some buzz, and he was taking meetings, building his team, but he wasn't quite there yet. But he was willing to do whatever it took. He was literally handing out Come Up CDs with his phone number on the back, and one of those CDs he even tried handing out to his idol at the time.
Saw the press release that he was coming out with American Gangster, and you know what? I bet he's still kind of doing a few more joints. He hopped the train, we went there, we see this black Phantom turn the corner, and it's kind of like you just feel the energy of Hova. So Jay gets out of the car, walks up to the building, and I'm like trying to build up the nerve to go up to him with the CD. I'm like, yo, Jay, I got this. Like, what is this? Now, I don't even think he said, what is this? He might have looked at it, and he was like, I don't want this shit.
But we'll get back
That's
to Hove in
tough.
a couple minutes. This is the story of how Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake became the big three, and how their careers completely changed hip-hop forever. My name is Jeremy Hecht. Welcome to my channel where we discuss hip-hop, and
Facts.
specifically the relationships between the biggest stars in the world. This is going to be the most in-depth breakdown of the big three available on YouTube, and it's going to be done in...
My question for y'all, right? Look at my Goku. My question for y'all is like, has the order ever been different for you? Like, I feel like I know where everyone is right now. Like, what up, Bana? What up? I know where everyone's view is now. But has the order ever been different for you? Like, have you ever had J. Cole up? Have you ever had Drake up? Or has it always been Kendrick Lamar? I'd love to know your thoughts on that in the comments.
16-part series, one for each year from 2009 to
What up, Get
2025. It's called Passing of the Crown. These three artists were passing the crown between each other, sometimes even snatching it over the course of more than a decade, before it came to a head in 2024 and went from friends to frenemies to enemies in what can only be described as a Hollywood movie script. But back to the story. It's important to note, though, that as much as Drake's star power had risen by the end of the year, that there were other stars at the beginning of 09 in their peer class who had a bit more success than him early on. From Kid Cudi to Wale, there was even a XXL freshman class that Drake was left off of. Here's what he had to say about it. I'm actually very grateful I wasn't on that cover. I feel like everybody that was on there deserved to be on there. I'm a fan of a lot of those guys. I just think I have a different path.
Wale, man, like, I always talk about it because I remember Wale's run as just being I would never expect Wale to be like where he is now, and that's no disrespect to Wale because I know Wale is still a hell of a rapper. Like, he dropped something recently, and I was like, bro, this is one of the craziest displays of rap ability ever. But I would just never could imagine seeing him where he is now. Also, Kid Cudi too. Like, believe it or not, I was not always like, I wouldn't even say now like I'm the biggest Kid Cudi fan. Like, I like some of his joints. I think, but I would expect him to be in a different place too.
A different story to tell. To be put in that group is like a gift and a curse. So to be the one guy that wasn't on there that everyone talks about or should have been in there is kind of a good thing. It kind of creates a little bit of fun tension. On February 13th, Drake releases his mixtape So Far Gone. Even LeBron James was at the listening party. The mixtape is released independently for free as a digital download, but it's treated like an album with mostly original music and features from Bun B, Trey Songz, Omarion, Lloyd, Lil Wayne, and more. This would be Drake's last independent release of his career, and it seemed almost unheard of to have a mixtape reach such a scale, especially as a new artist. The Drake hype went from he's next up to he's the hottest out very quickly. And this buzz was unlike anything the game had seen in a long time. The project was met with critical acclaim, and the first single, Best I Ever Had, ended up reaching number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Who wrote the Best I Ever Had? Who wrote the Best I Ever Had? And that video is disgusting, by the way. Do y'all ever even see that anymore? But who wrote the Best I Ever Had? Hold up, wait. Dating back to his arrival on Billboard Hot 100 on May 23rd, 2009 with his breakthrough single, Best I Ever Had. Kia Shine, bro. 2009 wrote the breakout single. Since the beginning, that's the problem. And you got people saying, oh, y'all just like to hate. No, bro, it's just the truth. If it's the truth, it's the truth. Now that I hear people talking about Kendrick got reference tracks, I'm like, bro, shut up.
And getting a lot of radio play. Kanye West even took notice of Drake early on and was rumored to be executive producing his upcoming album, Thank Me Later. He directed the music video for Best I Ever Had, which received some backlash at the time. If you know, you know. It didn't really fit the vibe of the song. And some people even accused Kanye of purposefully sabotaging Drake's career early on. But of course, it didn't work. Drake's second single, Successful, with Wayne and Trey Songz, ended up reaching number 13 on Billboard. And ironically, on that song, Drake says, "Diss me and you'll never hear a reply for it." But in this rare interview with Joe Budden at the time, long before Joe was really a media personality, he prophetically told Drake that one day you will diss somebody as a rapper. And it seemed like Joe was excited for that day.
All right, so when do you see your first diss coming?
Hopefully, like, back to school times, like, you know, early fall.
All right, no, you think I said disc.
Disc. Oh, diss.
Yeah.
What a nice guy.
Now, somebody's going to
say
that.
I like you, man.
No, I'm a nice guy.
You are a nice guy.
I'm nice.
But you're just too witty for your own good.
I be beefing with loser niggas. I be beefing with loser sensitive niggas. Somebody is going to...
Prophetic. I be beefing with loser sensitive niggas. Prophetic, ain't it? Even that's prophetic.
With loser niggas. I be beefing with loser sensitive niggas. Somebody is going to...
I'm not going to diss me and you'll never hear a reply from
We heard the line. That was just a line. Somebody going to say some shit, and you going to feel some type of way, and the MC and you...
We know what happened just a few years later, but speaking of Kendrick, at this time he's doing small local shows and mostly locked in the studio working, while J-Roc was the label priority at TDE. But make no mistake, even though the masses weren't aware of Kendrick, he was plotting on the future. He officially changes his name from K-Dot to Kendrick Lamar and says in an interview with West Coast Styles that this was the reason. "I feel like I've grown as an artist. The world needs to know my story and know who I am as a person. I felt like what better way to do that than by using my own name. This is the first step in letting the world know who I am." While Kendrick was crafting his sonic identity and Drake was dealing with the newfound pressures of fame, J. Cole is securing a record deal. Jay-Z may have passed on his mixtape years prior, but when he heard Lights Please, he was sold on Cole. Through a mutual connection, Cole secured a meeting with Jay, and the rest is history.
Heard it, and you know, the first song he heard, he was just like, "Yo, who is this kid? Can you bring him to me?"
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yeah, like, bro, I gave you my tape.
Like, "Yo, Jay wants to sit down with you," and it's kind of like, you know, half excitement, half like, yeah, right, you know, like whatever. I believe it when I see it, and I get a call one Monday morning, "Yo, you have a meeting today that you didn't know about," and my heart dropped. It's like, this is it, you know, like, so I had to rush from Long Island out to the city. It was a beautiful day right there.
In June 2009, Cole drops his follow-up mixtape, The Warm Up, also to critical reception, and secured his spot as one of the next up from his generation.
Nice.
But Cole is still looking at Drake as one of the leaders of their class. This was his reaction to...
And I think that's the issue people have, bro. Like, even like as dope at, like, my issue with Cole always, now that I'm thinking about it though, is he was just rapping his life. Was how college it sounded like a college rapper. You know what I'm saying? He sounded like that was the only experiences that he had, or the only experience that he had, because that's all he talked about. And I mean, not all he talked about, but you know what I'm saying? Like, a vast majority of his music was that. But that's the problem, and he still looked at Drake as being above him or ahead of him, even when he was clearly the better rapper. Even then, he was the better rapper. He's still better than Drake, but he was the better rapper then, and he just didn't know it.
Hearing So Far Gone while listening during a spring break trip to Miami. Cole even changed the way he looked at mixtapes because of Drake. The second I heard Say What's Real, I was blown away because of how good it was. Subconsciously, I was like, there was someone else out there the whole time that was working maybe just as hard as I was working. When we got to Miami, everybody was playing So Far Gone. And you could see right away, oh, this is a phenomenal shift.
But but even for that though, like, I could definitely, it was such a vibey kind of like mixtape though. Like, it was vibey as hell. And it had, bro, you had like they said, you had features from some of the top artists at the time. You had Wayne and Trey Songz and Lloyd and Bun B and Amarion. You had everybody on that project.
Cole was still looking at the distance between him and Drake at that time. And it was something that he felt like he needed to catch up to, saying, I'm not even anybody yet. And this dude's off to the races with hits like cultural shifting shit. At that moment, I had to
Lots of
shift my
help.
mindset about what the warm-up was about to be because Drake just changed the game. Around the same time, in June, Drake officially announces that he had signed a multi-million-dollar record deal with Young Money and Universal Republic after a bidding war between multiple labels. And looking at interviews at the time, it seemed like Drake was actually thinking about what it would look like to just remain independent. But ultimately, he signed. Drake joins Nicki Minaj and Tyga as part of the Young Money crew and went on tour with Wayne, dropping notable singles like Bedrock and Every Girl.
T Streets and Lil Twist, bro. What happened? What happened? Mac Main. I thought Mac Main was kind of dope. Nicki back then, bro, was just unstoppable. In my opinion, bro, unstoppable, bro. Just used to. I thought Nicki was actually bigger than Drake at one point.
Which at the time I remember thinking, every girl? You need every single one. But Cole would get one of his first big mainstream looks from his now mentor and boss when he appears on the aptly titled A Star Is Born, off of Jay-Z's Blueprint 3 album. Cole goes on tour with Hove alongside Wale and raps the verse live every night in what feels like a passing of the torch moment. Drake also appears on the Blueprint 3 on the hook of Off That, a song that I say includes one of Jay-Z's only 3 losses in his career: Auto-Tune, Nas, and trying to get New Yorkers to stop wearing Timbs. It's never gonna happen. That summer, Drake appears alongside Kanye, Lil Wayne, and Eminem for the LeBron James documentary soundtrack song called Forever. This is where Drake stamps himself as the greatest while he's rapping alongside his biggest inspirations. Cole also had a standout verse on Wale's debut album, Attention Deficit, with one of his best early verses, Beautiful Bliss. Let me know where that ranks in your all-time Cole verses list below. In December, it was announced that Drake was nominated for 3 Grammys, including Best New Artist. And on the last day of 2009, Kendrick Lamar dropped the Kendrick Lamar EP under the official moniker of his real name for the first time. But even though he may have been the least known out of the 3 in this year, Dot was looking towards the future. Here's what he said at that time about what he was working on. I've got 2 major projects. We're doing it ourselves from the ground up. And those 2 major projects likely became Kendrick Lamar OD.
And that's the thing, bro. Like you could see why people looked at Kendrick the way they looked at him, because he was just off in the corner on his own doing work. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't with Hove, he wasn't with Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Like he was off in the corner, like just working.
Section 80. But it seems like he was already looking forward to his debut album, considering this is how he described himself in that same interview. I was a kid growing up in Compton, a positive kid that wanted to rap, but facing the peer pressure that comes with growing up in that city. I was born and raised there. The thing that separates me from a lot of others is that I have a father who persuaded me to go on the right path. I'm a good kid in a mad city. That's my story. A good kid in a mad city. But as for 2010, Drake is looking to prove his lasting power with his debut album, Kendrick is looking to prove that he's a problem with his upcoming mixtape, and J. Cole is looking for a breakthrough hit so that he can release his debut album under Roc Nation. Until then, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss when...
And then Hove asking Drake for the hit, that sucks, bro. Oh, man. Yeah, this is perfect. I like this. I like what we're doing, kind of setting it up, and we know where it's going to go after this. Him and Cole the same, no soul, no flame. Want the life of the gangster under the real name. My favorite Kendrick album of all time is Section 80. Even as a casual rap fan, Kendrick didn't have any misses for me. I literally left college and never listened to Drake again. Kendrick Lamar EP is where the greatness began. Yeah, man, this is great. There's a lot of really good information here. I think basically they are very different though, man. Like they're all very different artists. So to have or for there to potentially have been a big 3 of them 3, you touch all bases. You touch all bases of hip hop, but Drake just always needed help. Drake always needed help. Drake was never, ever, ever even someone that that should have been there, but the people on the outside didn't know that. The people on the outside didn't know that. They just thought he was dropping all this crazy music. He was getting all these features. He was doing all this, and it turned out that even from what we can see now, it's all been manufactured, fam. It has all been manufactured. So let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments too. My favorite dot is Good Kid, Mad City. GNX maybe once I hear the Full Bodies track. All right, man, listen. Hit that like button for me if you guys haven't done it. Subscribe to the channel. I will be putting these out as their own standalone videos, man. So if you guys have seen it already, do me a favor. Just pop in, hit the like button, and hype it up for your boy, man. I see them hype points is going crazy, so I really appreciate that. It felt good to be back today. We're going to try to get back tomorrow. Like I said, if you guys want to send me videos that you want me to react to, send them over to me via Instagram or Twitter. If you guys can see that all right here. You guys can send it all there. But I love you guys so much, man. On your way out, if you haven't hit the like button, there's 400 million people in here and 230 likes. So there's like 170 of y'all who haven't hit the like button. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button for me, it really helps out the stream so much and boosts it so people know we're doing something nice over here and they want to come back and they want to watch again. Turn on the notification bell so you guys know when I drop a live or a video. But I will see you guys in the next. And thank y'all for pulling up too, man. We back. We back. We're going to try to stream more often. Last week was a fluke, man. But I love y'all so much. I will see y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace.